we've been watching, Rob, NVIDIA just climb and climb and climb and climb. We got news, of course, this week that it has overtaken Microsoft as top dog, is the biggest company in the world, something like 3.3 trillion. Do I have that right? In market cap? I mean, wow, right? This is a massive behemoth. And it's like happened seemingly overnight, but not entirely. In fact, I encourage people to go back and look at last week's talk about NVIDIA, because there's a lot to understand about the company and the company's founder, et cetera. Really amazing rags to riches kind of story. But as we watch this, I think it's just really incredible to look at tech overall, because a lot of people say, wait, can I still get in on NVIDIA? Can I still get in on Microsoft or Apple or any of the others, right? Like there's Broadcom. There's a lot of big players in this space. And I know it's overwhelming for folks. Quick pitch to make sure that you're getting the resilience model portfolio that Rob and I put together. If you're looking to capture some of the growth and opportunity, there's a good 10 to 15 stocks in there, 76research.com. But Rob, like, how do you think about where to start if you are just getting into the tech sector right now with NVIDIA at an all-time high?
Yep, great question. And it was just 10 days ago or so that we were marveling at the fact that NVIDIA was the second most valuable company in the world. And it's actually up 12% since we had that conversation. So it continues to surge. I was a little bit skeptical that the stock split would really be that impactful, in that, how much could small retail investors really move a 3 trillion market cap company? But
they showed you.
I think there's just a lot.
But what is okay? We can do the for and the against, right? Because I know you said last week before you start, look, this is still a really fascinating, opportune time to be getting into the AI space. Walk us through some of those metrics, because we can talk about the downside too. It's important everybody know all sides here. But what is the sort of positive case scenario? I mean, why is it that the investing community thinks that this is totally the future?
Yeah, it's just their data center revenues are growing like gangbusters. And I think people are, look, there's a lot of momentum here. There's a lot of people looking at this and saying, this shares are going up. I want a piece of the action. Yeah. But, this isn't one of these, late 90s pets.com situation. There's real earnings and cash flow and revenue growth supporting it. The real question, the $3.3 trillion question is, is it getting ahead of itself? Like, will that degree of revenue growth and earnings growth really materialize, or will it, and it's hard to judge, right? We're looking 3 years forward. The expectation at this point is that it's going to double. The actual customers who are paying NVIDIA this revenue are actually their peers among the mega cap tech stocks. So you've got the Microsofts and Metas and Googles, are the ones
that are really, in fact, I think we actually have a 76 chart on that. That, it's good for people to see, because basically the entire sector, we should probably just say, right, the entire sector is on this upswing right now. And that's in part because of just everything that's going on. Really just incredible stuff to see. But, as we look at the overall sort of environment here, and Rob, can you see on your screen? We've got Apple, we've got Broadcom, you've got the S&P.
Yep. So you see the S&P in the gray line, marginally higher. This is over the last 30 days. So just about 9-10% higher, but you can see how it's really being lifted by these mega cap names. NVIDIA up more than 50, close to 60% just in the last 30 days. Apple up 25% ish or more. Broadcom had which is actually a very large market cap stock itself, up nearly 40% in the semiconductor space. So I did some back of the envelope kind of math. I think that's about half the return in the S&P 500 just from these three stocks in the last 30 days. And Apple has had a big move, as you can see, with their announcement around Apple Intelligence that was well received, but has also invited some controversy or some criticism.
I mean, are there other opportunities that you think and you think are really worthwhile within the tech sector?
Yeah, I think there will be there clearly going to be a number of beneficiaries. Another stock that bounced, I think it was last week, was Adobe. They had given some indications that their AI, revenue is gaining traction. So the market is very sensitive to anything that's going to be a beneficiary of AI spending, and at the moment, really rewarding stocks that are exhibiting that. But the AI boom, as we've been discussing for a long time, really extends to a lot of industries, and there are a lot of different ways to play it. My thinking on the topic is, I tend to be cautious around valuation. I tend to be, focused on downside, and don't necessarily love chasing all the names that are that have already been rewarded for anticipated growth. But I do think across industries, there really are a lot of different ways to play it, and we try to identify many of those in our model portfolios.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of what we're trying to, again, I just encourage people to go look at 76research.com, 76research.com, where we have 3 different model portfolios, including for people that want to look at not just, tech and growth, and tech and growth have, certainly been mega winners in the last 6 months, but diversification is a big part of any strategy, which is of course what we want to ensure that we have. So there's an inflation protection portfolio there, as well as another one just focused on income building, because at some point hopefully you're going to retire and you can get some income growth out of your portfolio.